Long time no see, everyone. It's your old mate Chicagon back at it again, this time with part 15 of building my capsule wardrobe. So in other words, my latest pickups. Before we begin, if you've been enjoying this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I do love engaging with all of you, be it through the comment section or messages on Instagram and even Twitter or Discord. You can find me in all these places. The links are down below in the description. So it's been some time since the last video, and it's mainly because it's been getting a bit warmer here in Australia, or more like Melbourne of all places. So it's been a bit hard to do some of these looks because the pieces that I have picked up lend themselves a little bit better to cooler climates. You'll see, it'll make sense. So today was luckily a not so hot day, so I was able to get these clothes and outfits together, and here they are to show off. But before we do get to that, a bit of an update on the wardrobe in the state that it is at the moment. There are a few items that I am looking to actively get rid of, or more like sell onwards. I'm not sure whether I'd mentioned it before, but the Rick Owens Veja hiking sneakers, I'm looking to sell. I've put them on a couple of places, but ultimately they just don't fit me correctly. And as much as I love them, with the warmer weather and feet swelling, they get super uncomfortable, and I just can't deal with that. I may have already said this before, but just to reiterate it, they're hell uncomfortable on my feet because my feet are really weirdly shaped and they do swell up a little bit in the hotter months, and it makes them unwearable. So I figured it's probably best to sell them on, and so that's an item that I'm looking to get rid of. Also, in addition to that, I am looking to sell on the undercover knee rip jeans. These ones are mainly because I just don't really wear skinny jeans anymore. And in addition to that, they are low rise jeans. Blast from the past, right? But these 2014 pants, I just don't really wear or go to very often. There is a specific outfit that I like to wear them with, but that's something I don't really wear in summer. And then thinking about cooler months, it's a very specific thing to be wearing, I guess, a specific combination, and I feel like that shouldn't warrant keeping these. So I'm looking to also sell those on, and I've put them up on Depop and such to see if anyone's interested. Then finally, there's a few more items that are more from like what my wardrobe was before I started building it up again. So there's the Hypercore hoodie and also the Hypercore ice cream sandwich pants. More Harajuku kind of vibes. I really like those pieces, but I just never think to wear them, and I don't go for them. And it's pretty unfortunate because they're quite nice and they're date stock. You can't buy those anymore. They can only be found secondhand. So I have an affinity to them, but I'm also just holding on to them for the sake of what's the specific occasion in which I'm going to be like, hey, I want to wear this specific thing that I have, and I'm just lucky that I've got it. And I just can't think of that. I think I'm just holding on to things, and they're better off for somebody else. So if anyone's interested in any of these items, be sure to check my Depop, or you can also message me directly and we can organize something there. Okay, so moving on to the recent pickups. All of these actually, funnily enough, were from Mercari again, so from Japan, except for the shoes, which I actually got off Facebook Marketplace here. I reactivated my Facebook purely so I could use Marketplace. It's frustrating that you can't use it separately, but I understand because then a lot of people probably would just leave Facebook. But here they are. So these are a pair of Rick Owens laceless zip-up boots. These are mainline in a reverse leather, and they are gorgeous. I really like these. I found them at a very reasonable price. The seller hadn't worn them for a long time, so I was looking to just really get rid of them. So they mailed them to me this week. They have these really ridiculous tongues that you can have up, but I note that most people have them folded in. And I was very excited for these. They arrived and I was super stoked. But then, just my luck, had a bit of tragedy struck. And as I was taking them off, literally last night, I noticed this. Part of the midsole has started to crack, and this bit's actually completely fallen off. And the crack is right where the shoe bends when you're walking. So that's only gonna get larger, and oh, my heart sunk. I actually couldn't get to sleep for ages thinking about it, being like, oh man, why is it just my luck? These are so cool, but immediately they just fall apart. So I contacted the seller and just mentioned, hey, here's a photo. I've literally worn these once I went to the shops and came back. I haven't actually even gone out for a night in these, and they've started to fall apart. They were super, super understanding and were like, hey, look, just give me your PayPal, I will refund you, or your pay ID, and I'll just give you the money back and you can send them back. Don't worry about sending them express. I eventually gave them my details. They did refund the money, but then they were like, look, I have not worn these shoes for years and I don't really intend to go through the motions of selling these again, especially now that they're actually a little bit cracked. And as you can see, the cracks are actually getting worse. Now there's 2 cracks as opposed to 1, and all I did was put them on for this video. In addition to that. So they said, you can just hold on to them. I've given you your money back, but like, I don't expect to be able to sell them. And I really just wanted to get rid of them as well. So I have this pair of fantastic shoes, but I'm really, really unsure what to do about these soles, because looking it up online, the midsole is not something that you can really replace or really get fixed. And a lot of people just say, hey, if your midsole's cracking, that's it. Like, just rip shoe. You kind of just need to keep wearing them and then they'll eventually fall apart completely, but that's really it. There's not much that can be done. I contacted a cobbler. I'm the one that actually fixed my geo baskets and sent through a few photos, so we'll see what they say. But if anyone has any ideas, I'd love to know, because these are fantastic. I don't even know what year these are from, because they're reverse leather. So they have this really, really interesting texture, very similar to the Julius boots that I have. So yeah, cool pickup, but also disappointing because I can't actively wear them because they will fall apart even quicker. Why does this keep happening to me? I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not sure. But yeah, these are in a size 41, so they fit quite snug, but I think it's also because the leather needs to maybe be worn in a bit, but we'll see. They're not uncomfortable. They're just a little tight in the wide area, but not lengthways for my wide feet. Just a quick note, I really do want to make it clear how nice this seller was, or how reasonable this seller was. I wasn't expecting anything. I was hoping to maybe get a little bit of money back and then just figure out what I was going to do. But the fact that they not only refunded the money, but then were like, you may as well just keep the shoes is, I mean, I don't know if you even can rate people on Facebook Marketplace. So I was like, wow, like I'm more motivated to potentially buy something else in future if there was something you were selling that I was interested in. But yeah, gold standard, and I can't overstate that enough. Like, really, really good seller. So next up, I've noticed that a lot of people comment on my videos or even get in touch on Instagram and mention a brand called Thom Krom to look into. And eventually I did that. I don't know why it took me so long. I think just life, right? And I found a few things. Mainly the brand kind of feels like Rick Owens-esque, Julius-esque, that kind of sort of long silhouette, a little bit tighter vibes. And for me, with the body that I have, I can't really pull off a lot of that stuff, especially if it's like form fitted, because I'm a little bit like chunky. I do go to the gym, I do try and eat well, but that's just the body type that I have. However, I found a good deal on Mercari of 3 tops that were being sold by the same seller, a long sleeve, a short sleeve, and a singlet. Now, I've actually been looking for a singlet to wear under shirts or to wear under, say, like the Mihara Yasuhiro top that I can just wear like open. Things like that where I don't have to really commit to wearing like a full t-shirt underneath or something like that. So a singlet, yeah, awesome, like great. And a long sleeve and a short sleeve. I made an offer for all 3 together and the seller accepted it. And I was able to get these 3 items for quite an affordable price. So there is a long sleeve in this sort of olive green color, this singlet in black, and this t-shirt in black. So all of these are like a mix of viscose and silk. And so they have a really, really lovely texture and feel to them. They're very, very light and airy. And I really like wearing them. I don't think they look the greatest on me, but wearing them as layered options and layering them on top of each other does actually look pretty cool. And the fact that they're longer you can kind of pull them up a little bit to stack them or to show one bit under the other one. I really like that vibe. And if I do slim down a bit further, I will be more confident in wearing these. But so far, I really, really like them. And I do wear the singlet a lot under things, and mainly wear the long sleeve underneath the t-shirt as a kind of layering option. This color also matches the Mastodons and also the Rick totes. So it's nice for like color coordination, and I'm actually really happy with them. Ultimately, I do like these 3 items, and I'm very, very stoked that I was able to pick them up at a very, very affordable price. And I'll probably keep them around because they're great basics. And hey, I needed a singlet and I got a singlet. So very, very happy. Okay, moving on from those tops, I also got a long sleeve. I wasn't really looking for a long sleeve, but a few months ago I came across this Japanese brand called Anrealage or Unrealage. Starts with an A. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it, but it was a video of theirs on YouTube where it was showing their latest collection, and it was this sort of interesting video where it was half virtual, where it was held in like this metaverse from a movie called Belle. So it was held within the universe within said movie, but then also held in a real place. So they kind of mixed looks in CG with IRL looks, and the way that the dresses were made to look made them look like they were CG. It's really, really interesting. I'll put the link below. It's actually a really fantastic presentation, and that movie's coming out really soon. And it got me interested in the movie, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing that in a few weeks when it finally comes out here in Australia. So looking further into this brand, it seems like a very interesting group that makes unusually interesting clothes. So tops with like warped buttons or layouts, clothing that looks like it's shadows but also not shadows. It's really hard to explain. I put up some photos, but everything looks fantastic and really interesting. Stuff that messes with perspectives and kind of looks like you're wearing something 2D, but it's not. It's all really interesting. So it really excited me and had me looking and seeing what I could find. And I ended up finding this top. It's a woolen long sleeve by the brand Anrealage, and it's quite long. So I guess it's unisex. You could wear it as a dress if you'd like to. But the amazing thing about this is the way that it's cut. So I'm not sure if it'll show up properly here, but you can see these diagonal cuts along the top. So these are all individual pieces, and these go throughout the entire top and the sleeves. And so each part is cut in this really interesting way that as soon as I saw it, I was like, that's awesome and really, really subtle. So I picked it up for a pretty decent price, and I'm really, really happy with it. The only thing is that since it's wool and my skin, I think it's just polyester stuff, and my skin do not agree. Like the Issey Miyake en plissé t-shirt, like it just feels awful on my skin. So that was another reason for a singlet, or also wearing a t-shirt underneath offsets that. But this is just really, really cool. Like I've never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything cut like this before, and it's just awesome to look at. Whether or not I hold on to it, I'm not sure. I think in the cooler months, it will be very, very nice to wear with something underneath, of course. But obviously in summer, not the best, but really, really cool top. Really, really great brand. Definitely worth looking into if you want to see like some interesting sort of off the wall designs and ways of making and molding garments. I'm really excited by it. And if you have any suggestions of similar-ish brands or houses to check out, I would love it, because this really, it excited me in a way that the other clothes and the other designers that I've looked at so far haven't excited me before. And not in a bad way, it's more just a different sort of like, wow, I didn't know you could do that. And I guess that is more a reflection on how novice I am to this whole thing. But yeah, speaking from the heart, like it really excited me, and I really love keeping an eye on what they're doing and consuming their content from past collections as well. Really, really interesting. Check out the link below to see the video I was referring to. So I've never really strayed far from the fact that I'm somebody that gets hot very, very quickly. So layering is very difficult for me, and especially coats are something that I haven't really taken too much of a dive in, because layering a coat over like many things underneath is a bad idea. Even if it's really, really cold, I will still overheat. And the Uniqlo Jill Sander giant puffer thing that I've got is probably like the most I'll ever need. So that being said, I was wanting an outer layer that was also thin enough to be able to be laid on multiple bottom layers or mid layers. And I found this overcoat by Random Identities made out of like satin that really ideally serves that purpose. It's got this beautiful sash on it that goes across the front that means you can also like hang it off to one side or hang the entire thing behind you, which I think looks really neat. And it really, really does the job. Like I can wear this on top of other things and it's not too hot and it's not too cumbersome. It's really, really light and flowy, and the texture of it all is just so light and airy. I really, really like it. And just funny how you kind of stumble across things when you're sort of thinking about it. Another really, really decently priced pickup. I see these on the marketplace go for 2 or even 3 times the amount that I got this one for. This one was more just a smaller size, so perhaps that's why it hadn't really been picked up. But this even being a medium is still huge and oversized. So I don't know whether people are actually looking for larges because you could probably sleep in one of those, or perhaps maybe they're going for extra smalls or smalls so that they fit a bit more regular. But I kind of like the oversized look, and you can just roll up the sleeves if they're bothering you, right? So happy with it. It's just so cool. Like it's a really cool jacket, and I can't wait for it to cool down a little bit to then layer this baby with more things. Really happy with it. So the final item that I picked up from the Japanese marketplace, I was looking through my selection of pants and it really came back to the thing of like, okay, I need something that I can wear that's a full length pant, because I actually don't have many of those. Many of the things I have are cropped or maybe like balloon. They're not quite just a general long pant. And then also getting rid of the skinny jeans leaves that open more for something to fill it in. So I was thinking, like what are my options in terms of this? I don't really have any slacks, but I do occasionally see cargos and think they could kind of look nice with geos or boots underneath. And I do like the silhouette, and it is very casual, but it's something that I can kind of mess with maybe something a bit more form-fitting up top and way baggier down below. Funnily enough, I stumbled across these, which are a pair of Yohji Yamamoto Wise cargo pants. Now, I found these and they were listed as a medium, a size 2. However, these are huge. These are too big for me, but luckily they come with a belt built into them, so you can size them down. And they're just so long. I have to cuff them 1 or 2 times and they are still too baggy. I don't know what these are supposed to look like on like a smaller framed person, because it just seems like comedy to me, but it's fantastic. Like I was able to find these huge pants. So they're made out of cotton and rayon, but are still very, very heavy. I was expecting them to be a bit lighter, but they're quite heavy. They've got 2 pockets on each side. One is a zip pocket. Then you've also got your cargo pockets on each leg and 2 pockets on the back. These pants are really, really cool. Like I like to wear them for bike rides or just casually going to the shops. I've maybe worn them out once, but it's kind of dealing with the fact of I haven't worn a pair of like baggy trousers in the longest time. So getting used to that again is like, am I in high school again? Am I gonna get a pair of like rave pants next? But yeah, these are fantastic. Really, really great. I just don't understand why they're so big. Like they're too big, especially for a medium. Like these could fit an XL, potentially an XXL. That's how like big the waistband is. But that belt, that built-in belt really solves everything, I think. But yeah, really, really stoked with these. And as heavy as they are, I think I'll keep them for a while. And I do find myself going to put them on when I don't really feel like dealing with something cropped or something that kind of flops around too much in the wind, because I can sometimes get caught in stuff and you definitely can't ride a bike in them. That's a video that is definitely needing to be made. How to pick things to ride bikes in, right? So they are the items for this latest pickup haul. I've ranted long enough about them and talked about it, but if you've just skipped ahead with the timestamps, it's now time to have a look at the looks. So I think there's 7 incorporating all these items a couple of times, and hopefully you enjoy it. Let's get to it. Okay, so they were the looks that I was able to come up with these items that I had picked up, along with the items that are currently in my wardrobe. Which was your favorite? This was kind of difficult to film because putting on so many layers today wasn't cold, but it wasn't hot either. But getting layered up, I was struggling in a couple of these outfits and was very happy to take them off. So I think I'm more of a winter person and can't wait for it to get cooler. But you know, come winter, I'm probably going to be like, I wish it wasn't so cold. I don't know what I want. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really like sort of going through the motions of why I pick these things and laying it out kind of like a diary, so to speak. And hopefully you can see that I don't really have the best thought processes on things and sometimes end up with stuff that I shouldn't end up with. But that's part of the learning process. And I can look back on these and be like, you know what? That was a good choice. Or you know what? Bad choice. Anyhow, I hope you're all taking care of yourselves. Melbourne is pretty full on at the moment, and it seems like every other person is sick or in isolation, which is awful. And I hope that wherever you may be, you're staying safe and your loved ones are all okay too. And we just gotta keep at it, and hopefully at some stage we'll get over this hump for now and be able to hang out and be jolly yet again. So thanks for watching this video. Hope you had fun. Thanks so much. There's more to come as always. Feel free to get in touch and I will do my best to respond when I can. But yeah, until next time, take care of yourselves, have fun, and as always, don't do anything I'd do. Bye-bye.